Good morning, pregame crew. It is Monday, June 5th, 2023. You are at the pregame show. This is a show where I go over commodities, crypto, indices, movers and shakers of the day, and I officially get started at 6:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern. It's currently 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern. Good morning. I hope you are well. Thank you, Wave. I appreciate that. Good morning, Shake and Bake. Hey, Renaissance Man, Topher. Hey, Greg, Train Man Dan, Mighty Pawns, Tess. How's the Bay Area, Tess? I think that's where you are. Hey, Casey, Lori, Chris, Sandor. Of course, you may have a chart request. Hey, B-Hawk, Sam, Card Lady, Ed. Hey, Homebody, Mal, Mary, Anu, E Cubed, Basque. Let me go back up to the top. So before I forget, next week we're having a Q&A session with me next Thursday, June 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want to jump on then, I'll give you the YouTube link as we get closer. I will be doing an Ask Me Anything session. Should be fun. What do I think about Macy's? I think Macy's is in trouble. Retail has not been looking that good. 1588, 1568 double top. I think odds favor a daily lower high. I think top fishing against 1588 makes a lot of sense. I don't like it down here at 1530. I'd like it closer to 1568 to take that top fish. It had a wonderful day on Friday. It had earnings on Thursday. Looks like they beat. Maybe they are doing better than most. But a daily lower high is still the more likely scenario. I would be waiting for a back burner trade. If you're looking for a long, I'd wait for a pullback opportunity to buy for a potential daily high or low. You've been waiting for Mana to choose. What's going on with Mana? Looks like these bears woke up and chose violence. Weekly lower high, the more likely scenario compared to 70 cents. Daily got a higher high, but we're running into the 50 MA and we have the 200 MA overhead. 4 hour is overbought with bearish divergence. I would like a short right here. You see it? Against 53.5310. I like a top fish because we're overbought on the 4 hour in a weekly downtrend. If that's not what you were asking about, that's okay. Somebody may have just gotten a trade idea out of that. Okay, Ed, it was the one you were asking about. Yeah, I like a top fish, weekly lower high. 4 hour overbought, bearish divergence. Yes, please. IWM has the 200 MA overhead on RTY. Here, you see we ran into the daily 200 MA. Now, we had a wonderful day on Friday, a beautiful day. However, I would be expecting some type of pullback at this daily 200 MA. We did get a weekly higher high, but we got the 50 MA overhead on the weekly chart. 4 hour potential bull flag. So the way I would trade this is I'd wait for a back burner 5 or 15 minute oversold for a potential long. And as long as it's in this 4 hour bull flag formation, I would not top fish that 200 MA, but it would be on my mind for sure. It's all good in the hood. That's awesome. Hey, Hugo. Good morning. Hey, Lee. You're welcome, Sandor. Anytime. Coin. Hey, Joka. Coin is red. Bitcoin is having a really rough night. Bitcoin looks weak. We have a daily inside bar. High of 65.22, low of $62. I would like a top fish of 64.75 on coin, just knowing what I know about Bitcoin looking weak. AI. AI is tough for me. We have an inside bar. 30.60 is the low of Friday and the high is 34.57. We are looking for a daily higher low. Odds favor a daily higher low compared to 26.27. So that's what the odds favor. We have a 30.60 and 30.26 support. I like it long down here, even though it is super weak in pre-market, knowing that we're looking for that daily higher low. And hourly did not get oversold on Friday. We just barely grazed it. I'd be looking for a long. Odds favor the longs. I like to give y'all conservative plays and aggressive plays. Aggressive play, you're looking at top fish against Friday's high. Conservative bulls are waiting. They are enjoying this pullback and looking for a pullback buy against 30.60 to potentially nail that daily higher low. Yep. NVIDIA has the 4-hour head and shoulders potentially. Schwab, 54, 50, 54, 67. I'd consider that a double top. XLF was pretty strong on Friday. Let's see if they can continue this morning. They're still green. Support 54.25 and then 54.10. If I could tell y'all how much I'm struggling with my eyes right now, you may or may not feel bad for me. Stupid mascara. Why do I even bother? I'm married. I don't need to dress up anymore. Just kidding. This looks great. EMAs are below you on that hourly chart. Schwab is strong. Excuse me. Yep. The market looks strong. 4-hour bull flags everywhere. CCJ, and we'll get started in 2 minutes. This is a potential 4-hour bull flag. Probably looks better on the daily. 12-hour maybe? Yeah, potential 12-hour bull flag. Conservative bulls are looking for a pullback buy against 29.89. You're welcome, Topher. Hey, AO. We're not gapping up on NVIDIA. I'd love a gap up. With this potential 4-hour head and shoulders, I would like that. But we do not have a gap up. We are gapping down. We're gapping below Friday's low of 390.58. This may put in a temporary top on NVIDIA. We shall see. Weekly, still looking for a higher low. Daily, still looking for a higher low. What's more likely set at 37822. Healthy, healthy, healthy. You're welcome. Tess, I'm not even going to read what you wrote. Read out loud anyway. That's funny. All right, y'all ready to get started with the show? Just a little early. It'll be 6:30 in about 30 seconds, but let's get started. So today we have services PMI at 9:45. That is 15 minutes after market open. And then 30 minutes after market open, we have ISM non-manufacturing PMI. So when we have those data points that come in after the market opens, I like to set an alert, set it on my phone, set alarms to make sure that I know it's coming up, because I don't want to be in aggressive positioning in either direction ahead of this data. So that's something to keep in mind. And this is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be lovely. Promise not to spam you, and hopefully give you some decent information along the way. And Sandor, I'll give you credit for this one. Steps to become a profitable trader, not an all-inclusive list. You asked me last week about, I forget how you worded the question. You worded it so eloquently, and I came up with these steps on the fly, and I shared with you, and I just thought I'd tweet it out. So thank you for your provocative question. I know this question doesn't sound super provocative, but however you worded it, it sounded great. All right, and what I do here every morning, I shared with you, I go over indices, commodities, crypto movers, and shakers of the day. And Fridays table, the market environment dossier table. I affectionately call it the med table. This is a table that I use to measure all my correlations and come up with an overly bullish or overly bearish or neutral position on the market. It will help me with my thesis. Friday was the first day I've ever come up with everything green. And if you stuck with that overall trend of bullishness, you did all right on Friday. So this morning, we only have Bitcoin looking pretty bearish, bonds, semiconductors, and Microsoft don't look that hot, but we have the Hang Seng and DAX there up overnight. So overall, looking more bullish than bearish. Looking at ES, this potential 4-hour bull flag, y'all. When the bulls or bears show their hand in such an aggressive way, which they have this past week, especially on Friday, when they show their hand, believe them. When a chart shows you who they are, believe them. The only thing that can move this market up or down is aggressive buying or aggressive selling. Well, the aggression has been clear on the bull part. So that means conservative bulls are just waiting for pullback buys. So on pullbacks, you buy them. You buy them until the bears show you otherwise. Obviously, there's a lot of money in this market that has been idle and people want to put it to work. We have home prices spiking again despite these terribly high interest rates. So we have mortgage interest rates are high, but it's not even slowing down real estate buying. People have money they want to put to work, and it's obvious in the buying. So don't stand in front of this bull train. If you're a bear, just jump on the bull train with them. So if you want to know a little bit more in detail about this table and get a copy of the template, there is a link in the video description below if you're on YouTube that you can get a copy of this table and a video and a little PDF explaining why I came up with it and how I use it. So bulls, 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 and more bulls, okay? When we're consolidating in time versus price, we're consolidating. Look at this RSI coming off hot, hot, hot. It's cooling off, but we're doing it in a sideways fashion. That is bullish. Support 4281.50, 4280.50, resistant 4292.25, double top, and then 4297.75. So we're up here at 4300 psychological resistance. We'll see how the bulls fare today. Do they just take a sideways breather? Do they take a downwards breather? Or do the bulls just leg it up again right here, right now, which they're totally poised to do? ES is green. NASDAQ is slightly red. NASDAQ and semis were the weaker hands on Friday. And I like to share this heat map with y'all. When I look at this heat map and I see green, green, green everywhere with very little red, we had red in telecom and semis. We need every other sector helping us to the green side if semis are going to be weak. And that's what happened. Look at the banks. They were on fire. Healthcare, fire. Consumer cyclical, fire. XLE, fire. So semis decided to take a very small breather on Friday, and everyone else picked up their slack. That is super healthy rotation. Very healthy. For NASDAQ to be able to take a break and everyone else step up to the plate. That's what we want to see. So we have potential 4-hour bull flag on NASDAQ, but it's definitely not as strong as ES. RTY is down 0.32. We have lost, well, that's not a clear pivot loss of support. I guess you could say 1831.70, but we're still holding on to this 21 EMA. RTY, I'm not going to forget about this daily 200 MA overhead. If I'm going to be looking short today, it's going to be NASDAQ or RTY. YM is green. Potential 4-hour bull flag. Ain't nothing wrong with this chart. Nothing, 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 nothing. VIX is bouncing ever so slightly on the slightly red NASDAQ, but we're still below this 21 EMA on the hourly chart. Bulls are saying, whatever, market bulls, you don't scare me, VIX. Bonds are weak. Bonds have completely disconnected from the market, and the market really doesn't care. Dollar, if I had to pick one of my higher conviction setups on the day, oh, that was a mistake. That should be bear only. Yeah, that should be bear only. Thanks, Wave. You accountants can't get away with anything with all you accountants around. If I had to pick a higher conviction setup, I would say the dollar 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario, and I would like a top fish of 104.50. And if you're wrong, you're going to be wrong quick and stop out. I like this setup. This is one of my better setups that I saw. I'm about to sneeze. 1 second. I hope you did not hear that sneeze. We have about 30 acres behind my house that are not my land. It's not my land. Farmer owns it. He does mint every year. He has been the last few years. It smelled wonderful. This year he's doing corn, and I think I am allergic to corn. Yes, I trade gold. I trade futures. I will go over commodities in just a second. Okay, on Bitcoin, is this a cautionary tale with Bitcoin? Is it signaling potential consolidation coming up in the market? Possibly. Bitcoin is weak. We are oversold on the hourly chart. However, we have some bullish divergence. I guess it's called divergence day. Do y'all see that? RSI is making a higher low while price is making a lower low. That is bullish RSI divergence. Your next support, 26,508. So I like a top fish of the dollar and a possible bottom fish of Bitcoin this morning, right here at the support 26,674. Ethereum. Daily, we're at the 50 RSI. We're at the 50 MA. We're looking for a daily higher low compared to 1839. Hourly chart, we're in a downtrend. Bulls are trying to hold the low of 1862, and your next resistance is 1874.58. I don't know why I marked off 1874.10. Must have done it on a lower time frame. So despite this Bitcoin bullish divergence, I'd like a short-term long flip on Bitcoin. I guess you could do BITO if you don't trade in Coinbase, if you wanted to try a long against 1492. But if you're wrong, you'll be wrong quick. Gold. Gold is weak. Gold has a triple bottom here at 1954. If we were to break 1954 ever so slightly, we would have some bullish divergence here on RSI as well. But bears are in control of this chart. 1849.60 is your key daily support. Bulls are going to want to see that hold. And if you're a TCG member, I strongly suggest you watch Jungle Funk's commodities video that he does every weekend for members only. What a brilliant, brilliant video. He's just so good at commodity. He's good at everything, but really good at commodities. And he's been highlighting that this quarterly lower high is most likely set compared to 2176.90. And Dan does a commodities video too for members, which is amazing. So I guess if you wanted to bottom fish 1949, you could, but again, you have a high probability of getting stopped out. Bears are in control of this chart. Okay, silver, weak sauce. It's already lost the low. Bulls are looking for potential daily higher low relative to 2278. It also has its quarterly lower high most likely set. Dang. I promise I'm not doing this on purpose, but silver's trying to get some bullish divergence going too. So far, RSI is making a higher low while price is making a lower low. That's not enough of a signal for me to go long. I don't know. I'm thinking, y'all. I like giving y'all these really high conviction setups, but a silver long just doesn't seem prudent here. But man, I love that divergence. Oil has a potential daily megaphone. We're right here at the daily 50 MA overhead. Yes, we got a higher high, but we have not gotten a ton of follow through on that higher high. We had tons of OPEC headlines this weekend. With the daily 50 MA overhead on oil, my rules are I must be looking short. Even though we made a higher high, I must be looking short. 76.17 is your next resistance. I like oil short up here against 76.81. Excuse me, 73.81. And I'd put my stop at $74. with the daily potential megaphone and 50 MA overhead. Again, we spiked last night on news and quickly gave it all back. And you'll notice a theme here. I have oil with this megaphone, daily 50 MA, and I also have XLE as a potential short for myself because of this daily lower high possibility. Gap up? Absolutely. Gap up for shorting? Yes, please. So I like an XLE short at 81.13 with this daily 50 MA overhead at 81.86 above 81.20. The short idea is wrong. And I like to tell y'all where I'm wrong. I have hypothesis or thesis or trade ideas or sequencing. And as soon as I shut my mic down, more information enters the market and it may change my view. So you need to stay flexible as well. And knowing where you're wrong is super important. It's just as important to know where you're right as is to know where you're wrong is to know where you're right, or however you say that. Apple has an event today and it looks like the main show has already started. 181.36 all-time high is now broken in pre-market. We are at the $3 trillion market cap and bulls don't care. They really don't care. So we'll see how this event moves them at 1 p.m. Eastern. If y'all remember the Google event, Google did theirs so well and it really, let's go look at Google. And of course, I don't know what the marketing is here and what they're going to do, yada, yada. But if the Apple marketing people are half as good as the Google marketing people, they will use this as a major opportunity. So let me see. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is where they had their event. And then look at what happened. So let's see if Apple, if their marketing people are half as good as Google people, and do they take advantage of this conference and news coming out of it. So Apple's a pullback buy for me, a 5-minute back burner, 15-minute back burner. Amazon, let me look at my notes. I don't think bearish and pre-market potential gap fill in the making. Okay, it's turned green since I typed that. We have a gap at 123.49. And earlier we were gapping below Friday's low. I'm watching for this potential gap fill on Amazon 123.49. It's turned green, but it's definitely weaker than some of the other technology names. Y'all, if I am not being clear on what I'm looking for, it's because I don't see a clear setup. So with Amazon, it's kind of, I was wishy-washy there because I don't see a clear setup. And I will always tell you, I go over these 4 names every day: Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, because I know a lot of y'all trade it. Sometimes there are super clear setups and sometimes there isn't. And today is one of those days with Amazon, not very strong. Nvidia, potential 4-hour head and shoulders. I really wish it wasn't gapping down. So then I would flip the switch and look for a 5 or 15-minute overbought condition to potentially short on Nvidia. Nvidia was weak Friday and it is weak in pre-market. Tesla is strong. We're getting up over that resistance of 217.65. That will be a monthly bull break. You go, bulls. Tesla's strong, super strong. I'd ignore this broker open candle here. 213.11 is an after hours support level. We're gapping up above Friday's high. This is bullish. And the inability, so let's go do this. So the high of Friday, 217.25. The inability to fill this gap. So let's see if they fill the gap at open. The inability to fill it is super bullish. So if we come back and we fill it at 217.25 and then we quickly reverse, that is a long signal. Gap fill rules are in play. Gap rules are in play. PCW and Wall had super bullish days on Friday. So what I'm looking for here is 5-minute back burner trades. So tell me when RSI gets to 30 on the 5-minute during regular trading hours. I'm adjusted for dividend, slow devil. So on Apple, you see this adjusted right here. I'm adjusted data for dividend. So if we turn that off, yes, 182.94 is your high. But when you adjust for dividend, we are at a new all-time high. So when something doesn't look apples to apples with somebody else's chart, ask yourself two things. Are you adjusted for dividend, and do you have extended hours on? That can change the way your chart looks compared to others. Okay, Tesla, we did Bull, PACW and Wall, we did Back Burner, Riot. You know what, P-Bogs, Advil, cold and sinus is, I have that in my medicine cabinet at all times. And I take 2 Zyrtec every day, and I get allergy shots every Wednesday. Lots of fun. No problem. All right, on Riot, I like reverse back burner. We've already gone over Bitcoin being weak. I like a reverse back burner on Riot. Let's go set that alert. Tell me when Riot RSI hits 70 on the 5-minute. I want to know when it bounces. It bounces are for shorting, in my opinion, with Bitcoin weakness. XLE, already went over this one. Daily lower high, the more likely scenario compared to 81.13. I want to be sitting on that short the closer we get to 81.13. Over 81.20, I'm wrong. XLF, double top at 32.92. A straightforward short, an absolute straightforward short with this weekly double top at 32.92. And that's it for my Queen of the Mountain at 6:47. I finished on time. Who knew? Yeah, if you could hit that like button, I'd really, really appreciate it. Hello from Colombia. Oh, Snow, Gary, I'm glad you made money on it. I didn't. I really kind of botched that one. So on Snow, I was looking for a daily lower high compared to 185. Had I waited, I would have had a great short setup. I shorted it too soon, and I lost money on Snow on Friday. And I think it's super important for me to tell y'all. I know every trader loves to tout their winners, but I definitely want to let y'all know when I have losers, because obviously I'm not going to get every trade right, because we accept all outcomes and we never know who's on the other side of the computer banging buttons for buy or sell. So Snow, stop me out. I'm glad you got it. I still like it short, but I'm tucking my tail on this one because I botched it so bad on Friday. But definitely a bearish candle formed on Friday with a large upper wick of profit taking. That daily lower high is most likely set. Maybe a bounce at 5-minute reverse back burner, maybe. That may work. Marshall, that is so smart. You know what? I get really weirded out on the that whole neti pot thing. I don't know what is wrong with me. Gas stocks at open. Can I do KO? Sure. Coca-Cola. Looks like Bulls bought that 59.37 as if it were a double bottom with 59.72. Bulls have bounced enough to make room for a daily higher low. You got a dividend coming up of 46 cents. I actually like this here. Weekly higher low, most likely set. This thing is healthy. It doesn't look it on the daily chart. You're like, what the heck? But it actually looks pretty good. Oh, maybe I'll just quit being a ninny and I'll do it. The nasal rinse. Ugh. Buffett's still buying Snow. Who told me Friday that Snow was getting a lift? Someone said, be careful with Snow. MDB had good earnings and they're correlated. I did not know that, and you enlightened me. So at least I was wrong quickly on Snow, because I knew to get off the gas because it was having that positive correlation. Day trading tip every day. Oh, Dajit, that's very nice of you. Okay, so today's day trading, or just trading tip in general, is location, location, location. If you're looking for a daily higher low on Coca-Cola, for example, then you want to wait for it to pull back. Let's say to the hourly 21 EMA or 4-hour 8 EMA at 60.80. If that's where you want to buy, then you wait, darn it. don't get in here. Don't get in right here. If you want to buy around 60.80, because that's where the 4-hour 8 EMA is, or even 60.58 where the 4-hour 21 EMA is, then wait. Absolutely wait. Location, location. Risk to reward is super, super important. I cannot emphasize it enough. I don't have enough hours in the day to explain to you how important risk to reward is. If you're not going for at least 1 to 2, over time with a Monte Carlo simulation, if you don't know what that is, Google it, Monte Carlo simulation, where it runs a model and it says, okay, if you keep trading the way you're trading, how long will be before you go bust, before you lose all your money? If you're going for 1 to 1, I can tell you you're going to go bust quick. Very quickly. You have to always go for that 1 to 2. And that way, if you're still batting 50%, you're still going to be ahead of the game. So this is the most important thing. Well, this is my emphasis for today for you. Until I learned this concept and got my arms touching around it, I was a loser. I was losing money. So risk to reward, make sure you're going for at least 1 to 2, if not 1 to 3. Okay, it was you, Success. Okay. Success, you're pretty dang good. You're a dang good trader. If you are interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description. And also, I have a copy of my med table PDF and med table. There's a link in the video description if you want to look at that. That'd be great. If you want to click on it and see what I do with the table, that'd be great. I guess that'd be great because I've said it 4 darn times. Ugh, it's a Monday. Wow, that's awesome, Gary. That's cool, Ryan. I bought my son the drops, so we'll see if it helps him at all. They have drops that are based on the region where you are that you can buy on Amazon. You're welcome, Renaissance Man. All right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up since I'm getting repetitive. I appreciate you being here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notify button. Give me a follow on Twitter because, God, I love what I do. And I like sharing tips and tricks as I find them. So, TCGers, I will have these notes to you in just a second. Use stop losses.